Welcome to our first Google Business Buzz of 2025. Jay, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Henry, Happy New Year. I'm doing fantastic. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Super excited this year for all the stuff we've got planned for you, and particularly for this episode. Henry, what are we going to hit him with this episode?
Oh man. Well, we've seen so many changes come through the pipeline here in the past year. In past 2 years since the actual release of ChatGPT in November of 2022, right? We've seen so much adoption, so much usage and different AIs appearing. And that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover AI. We're going to give you guys an update on the moment in AI and what we see AI doing in the future and how it'll affect small businesses.
You guys loved hearing about this the first time. The AI episode we did
Hmm.
in 24 was one of the most popular, so we're stoked to hit it again. And actually, Henry, quite a few things we said in that episode like kind of manifested into reality. So
Oh yeah.
one of our biggies was that AI is the calculator of your life. Just short form that businesses will be using it, that you'll be using it, that your mother, sister, daughter, brother will be using it. And we were kind of right. So I
Oh
want to
yeah.
first start on the human level. Like, I want to tell you guys about how my wife is, a stay-at-home mom for all my kids, and she's busy homeschooling, doing other things. She uses GPT. She has it on her phone. She uses it for things like this: homeschool lesson plans. What happens when she leaves the lentils out for too long? Are they ruined? Does she have to throw them away? For even think about dealing with your in-laws in the group chat. The applications are endless. Dog grooming. We got a puppy
Hmm.
recently. And so how to do that if you don't want to go on YouTube and find the right video. AI is super helpful there. So these are real life cases of AI, and my wife loves it. I would say she uses it about once a day. She's not a super user, once or twice a day, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But and she thinks it adds immense value to her life, and it's just a powerhouse of information. Some people are using AI as world-class therapists. You can see this on Reddit.
Oh
So
yeah.
to feel better, to process your feelings and your environment, and the applications are really endless, guys. And so that's a personal example of how it's been used in my life. Henry, what about your family, man? You
Oh,
guys big on AI?
all the time, man. Yeah. Let's just keep on the wife trend, right? My wife uses AI to basically, as a nutritionist and as a trainer, she asks AI how to uh, create a diet for exactly what she wants. Like first prepping it with the goals, right? Here, AI, my name is, my name, I'm this age, I'm this weight, I'm this height, and then it will go ahead and take all that information, create the perfect diet and health plan. Then you want to incorporate exercise, right? And then you're thinking about calories and what do you want to do? Do you want to increase in mass? Do you want to decrease in fat? And that all is available through the chat GPT, and in my wife's case it's definitely helped. It's worked so well to achieve the goals, right? And in a short time, in about 6 months of listening to what chat developed, my wife has seen great results. Like you said, it's like people are using it to avoid having to pay high ticket, appointments and consultations. And that's really, it's making things unbelievable for users daily.
I need to brag to everyone in the theme of using chat or using AI to avoid high ticket prices and whatnot. I used AI to fix my washing machine. It really
Mm,
happened. It happened, I want to say maybe a week ago. Can't believe I didn't mention that we were riffing on this before, but
wow.
uh, I impressed my wife. It's real, guys. So if those are some practical examples of how this stuff works in the day to day. And so our thesis the first time was that AI is the calculator for your life. And we were looking at it in a business context, in a real life context, but now we've got the real life ironed out. You've
Mm,
seen some examples, and you can go
it's not
really,
done.
it's not done.
I don't think it's done. I mean, it's really just beginning, right? Like the what we're seeing right now is our like first adoption of this technology. It's like when we first started grabbing or using personal computers, not even the laptop, right? It's just this big box that's on your desk, right? And you're playing around with MS-DOS, right? That's what we are in right now with AI. And the adoption is incredible and it's extremely useful. Like we were talking about things that help us in our day to day to reduce costs, to improve efficiency and productivity. In here within our organization, we use AI heavily, right? For content creation, for organization, for notes structures, all of these things that help us as a marketing agency give better service to our clients and just a higher tier. AI is like a motor that has really revved up our solutions. Now, this is the first iteration, like I'm saying. Next iteration, AI agents, right? There are some real life examples, right? So the other day I was with my wife. We were at a bar and we were like, let's go eat somewhere. So we were looking at a place to eat. She wanted to eat some Spanish food, and I was looking up Spanish food, and I could see that on Google Maps there was a button that was prompting me to ask about wait times. And I clicked the button to ask about wait times. And what ended up happening was the AI coming up and saying, "Hey, would you like me to call this restaurant and get you some wait times?" And I'm like, "Yes." So it did it immediately. It gave me back a text message and an email with the wait times. And that was a great experience. I didn't end up going there because the wait time was too long. I went somewhere else. But look at how useful that is. And now that's what an agent does. That's the AI agent phase. And it's going to be everywhere. When ChatGPT, when Google Gemini, when there are AIs that can take control of your phone or of your machine, of your computer, and actually make changes and affect changes, buy things on Amazon, buy things on Google, that is the next step.
That's definitely where we're going, man. And I love that you brought it back to small business use cases because, as you know, we're here for the small business owner. And so back to food. On that note, I mean, drive-throughs, fast food drive-throughs are also piloting AI
Ooh,
to take customer orders. That's going good for
oh
some,
yeah.
decently for some people, poorly for others. But I envision a future in which that's we're going to see that there as well. But back to recent advancements in AI for small businesses. So one stat says that 65% of organizations now regularly use generative AI. That's nearly double from the previous year, guys. So we were right on that. Applications in
Mhm.
marketing, ding ding, product development, IT functions, AI-enabled tools. Another source says 98% of small businesses are using those to enhance operations, with 40% employing generative AI applications like chatbots and image. And so you can see Zuckerberg, he had an announcement, I want to say last week, right, Henry?
Mhm. Yeah.
Where he was laying off underperformers. It's going to be
Mhm.
a hectic, busy year ahead for them, and a lot of those are what mid-level coding positions,
That's
good
right.
decent chunk of them. And what do you think is filling in the gap there? Right, he ain't saying it, but generative AI probably.
Well, he did say it. He said it on a podcast
Oh, with
earlier.
Rogan, right,
Yes, with
right,
with
right,
Joe
right.
Rogan. He mentioned that the way that AI is going, it's going to be able to do this mid-level coding. And even, last year, early last year, NVIDIA CEO said that it's really not a good idea to start to learn coding because the AI is just going to be able to do it so much better that it's not worth, putting in the effort. You just learn AI, and that is the effort that will take you to the next step.
100% agreed. We were talking about this for like my kids' homeschool curriculum too, and how I don't think there's as much value as there was before in teaching them like COBOL, teaching them these old school programming, like just the gist of programming Python. Like it's why don't you learn AI? That's the skill of the future. Learn how to prompt, learn how to use Google AI Studio. And so I think that if everyone right now listening could just devote maybe 20 minutes a month to tinkering with AI, not you specifically learning the tech, going into AI Studio and learning how to use all those cool fields you were telling me about, dynamic, what was it? Dynamic field replacement and other things. You could create tools beyond your imagination. You could really, really improve your lives and create workflows for your business. That's the big application. That's where the money is. So we were talking about this beforehand. If you guys think that, let's say Chat GPT, OpenAI, that they're giving us this technology for $20 a month or whatever it costs, you're tripping. That's not why they're doing it. Why are they doing it, Henry? What's the end game? Where do they want to take this technology? You alluded to it earlier with agents, but
Basically, having it your everyday day-to-day search engine, and just your assistant. Everything you need, everything you want, just write it, right? Ask your AI. You can have your AirPods on and say, hey Siri, and when Siri does have a good AI, not like the one that they released recently,
it's pretty
then
bad.
then we'll be able to see, hey Siri, create this event for me, right? Create this calendar reminder, create this, go in and actually reserve a table for this date at this restaurant, and it'll do it for you.
And we're a few steps away from that, but I think
Close.
we're getting closer and closer. So I'm with you there. Another thing I wanted to say was that with AI, we talked about, becoming an agent, and then you define that. But there's also AGI, which is a step above that. I think that's really the end goal. Is that
General
a fair
intelligence.
statement? What happens when
Yeah.
we hit AGI?
So like
What does
it's
that mean?
it's about, so if you listen to Sam Altman, from OpenAI, he talks about the five stages of AI. We're about in like stage three. Stage five would be general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, where basically it's smarter than every human on the planet. Um, and that's, in my mind, that's okay. I think that's where we need to be to evolve as a species. Um, it's going to allow for, a lot of work to just be done by this AI, by these machines. And then, it's going to cause a reallocation of human resources, right? It's very similar to what happened with the tractor, right? The tractor that helps plow, the fields. What was before a tractor that plowed fields? There was an actual, human with a large animal, either a horse or a buffalo. Like what do you use to plow a field without a tractor? It's impossible. You got to use your muscle and a large animal to pull that. Then bam, you got the tractor, and that removed the need of the large animal, removed basically the need for a big back, farmer doing that manual labor. And we can see it with other technologies, right? The car, it removed the need of the horse and wagon. The printing press removed the need of actual pen and paper, hand to pen to paper writing. It's all an evolution, and everything's gotten better. We're in the best time of human history that we know of, right? We are the safest time in human history. We are innovating. We're launching rockets and catching them back here it's no longer a waste of a rocket. We can reuse them. And and AI is a part of that, right? AI is going to make it so that we get to AGI, and AGI is going to make it so that we can increase our long our longevity and our time span on this planet. So that's really where I think I got off on a tangent wave
No, it's an amazing
away
tangent,
from
man.
marketing.
I agree. I've got knee problems. I want to see what medical advancements we get. Is it cheaper to do a knee replacement? Like what kind of longevity and just quality of life enhancements are going to come from mobility and things in
Hmm.
medical with AI. So that should fill you with joy and hope because a lot of health stuff as you get up there in life, a lot of that is expensive, cost prohibitive, and just discouraging. And so to make that cheaper, that's a real pro. But I want to bring it back to marketing because you alluded to kind of what's happening with chat taking, or with AI I should say, taking um, a chunk out of search market share. Who is that number one player, guys, that they're really targeting, and who do they need to dethrone? Well, that's Google. So something interesting happened in terms of statistics recently. We saw that Google lost just a little bit of its market share, but enough to kind of create some waves. You want to tell them what was interesting about that statistic, Henry?
Yeah, so it's about a percentage point, but if we think about that in like the grand scheme of things, it's millions of people, millions upon millions of people all over the world. And what has happened in this year or 2 years, right? The introduction of AI and people starting to adopt this technology. I was recently in South America, in Ecuador, and kids, the youth, teenagers, they're using AI over Google to conduct searches. Um, we can see that here in the States, Google is continuing to iterate how they're showing and displaying their search because they can see that AI is becoming intrusive. So they had their AI overview, they've experimented with it, they've turned it on, they've turned it off, they've improved upon it. Now it's basically available for informational queries only. But who's to say that that's where it's going to stay, right? We can see that chat, since they launched their free search product within ChatGPT, they're pulling in all kinds of results, local results, website results. They're using local
Business
business
schema.
schema to pull in information. So all of this is really disrupting Google and their way of doing things. They've had the monopoly over 25 years, right? Everybody loves the way Google search has been, right? And the usage has been consistent. They took over back in the early 2000s. I'd say 2004. They just took over, right? It was Yahoo, it was Bing, but then they just took over. And why is that? They have their own browser, they have the best product, they have a lot of technology, a lot of money that goes behind what they're producing. But now they got this disruptor in OpenAI in ChatGPT.
And they had a profound understanding of how to monetize too. So I think it's not just so like why are we telling you guys that basically that AI is coming after search market share? Because it's a money play. Think about all the revenue on search. How does that revenue happen? A majority of it is advertising, right?
Yeah.
And so there's the revenue play with stealing search. Not only can you give people better answers potentially and have more information and can synthesize it in perhaps a better way, but you can also, have access to monetize all that. So I see as several money plays that AI can make. First of all, it can, turn into an agent, and then companies can utilize it for enterprises that we're already doing so now with large language models. But think about hiring 20 agents and maybe they're cheaper than, 20 mid-level, oh, I don't know, so-and-sos. But not only that, but you're also going to dominate search. I see a future, Henry, this is a bold prediction, but I want to revisit this in like 10 years,
Mm.
in which AI has stolen a significant chunk of search market share, and Google is really at their heels. The script flips essentially. I think that's where we're going to go, and whether the only question is whether we're going to go there in 5 years, whether we're going to go there in 10 years, and obviously Google is joining this kind of spectacle too, because Gemini 1.5 Flash, and now the newer model, what's it called? Gemini, I don't even remember the
Experimental.
Experimental, yeah, you can only get that through Google AI Studio. So Google is investing heavily in this stuff as well. And so Google is not just going to lay down and, fall off the face of the earth and let
Hmm.
AI have let OpenAI have their fun. Google is also a serious competitor in this, that once you're dominant in something, you don't want to lose it that easily. So, and like we proposed in the first episode, when these big tech giants fight, we essentially all win because we get better, products and services, we get better prices. And so I think that really underpins the point that you made about us being at one of the best times in humanity. People have different opinions of this. Obviously, it's a very controversial thing to say, but I think you're right. People are healthier than ever in terms of longevity. Technology is rapidly available. I mean, heck, everyone's got smartphones, information at their fingertips. Now you've got generative AI. In 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to start seeing significant longevity advances. I'm stoked for the future. And so to kind of wrap it all up for you, the small business owner, everything we said last year holds even more weight. Like Henry said, AI is here. It's coming for search market share. It bangs on the website. It bangs on things like local marketing schema. All good reasons to have your websites and your other properties online updated and accurate and consistent. So AI can grab that as a reputable trust source of who you are. You got to get in on this technology, whether it's to generate content, whether it's to save you time in any other way. Whatever the use case for your industry, your line of work may be, you got to find it and you got to deploy it and scale it now, because everybody else is doing that. And this video that you watch, the timestamps and the chapters and all that, that's going to be done using AI. Because when I used to do it manually, or Henry and I used to do it manually, it used to take us, what, 30, 40 minutes to watch the
Yeah.
video, put the chapters, and now AI can do that in 2 seconds. So why would you do it manually, right? Just be smart with your time. And so that's how everything continues to evolve, continues to change, true to that thesis in our first AI pod, guys. So if you haven't checked this out yet, skill of the future, AI, please play with GPT, play with Gemini, check out the other AI. There's different AIs for different
Meta.
things. Ones that are, yeah, Meta. Ones that you always get me with that. Ones that are
Meta.ai. Yeah,
better
give
for
it a try.
coding.
It's funny. It's great.
It's funny. It's great. At the very least, you can create cool images with it, and at the very best, you can use it to solve real life problems like Henry
100%.
and my wife did. So add value and expedience to your lives using this stuff. And so that's all we've got for you guys today.
That's
So
it.
Henry, close us out, brother.
Let's go. No, I think you said it best, Ajay. Let's all adopt AI for a better future, easier workflow, a more productive life. And I'll see you guys on the next pod. Thanks everybody for putting up with us and reaching here the end of the show. Like, subscribe, share, and till the next one. Hasta la vista.
Take care, guys.